Hey everybody, how's everyone doing tonight? I hope you're doing fabulous. I am going to give everybody a minute to say hello and jump in, and then we will go ahead and look at tonight's product bundle. We're going to get a little messy this evening. It's going to be super duper fun. So, let's start with tonight's product bundle. In addition to the product bundle for tonight, we also have some add-ons that you maybe want to pick up in the shop. And you will find down in the description box all the information you need for that kind of stuff. Okay, so tonight's bundle. We have some messy things. So we have ornamental gold chroma mist. We have chroma glaze and copper. We're going to play with those. We have the Fluttering Forest 6x6 paper collection. I love this paper collection so much. It has all the vintage vibes. It's so gorgeous. We're going to play with the stencil. This is a staple. This is called the X pattern stencil. I love this stencil. It's super versatile. You can use it for anything. It just looks like little cross stitches. For our sentiment tonight, and for stamp set, we have this big inspirational wreath stamp set, which is a 6x8 stamp set. We have these gorgeous, elaborate edges dies. I love these dies. These were the die of the month a month or two back. There's still bunches of them in the shop, and they're so gorgeous. I adore them. And then there's two colors of cardstock in the bundle, which is rouge and brown butter. So all of those products are in the shop at a discounted price. They're 58% off, so it's only $40 for all of it, which is a really, really good price. It's almost 60% off the retail. And then, oh, look at you all chatting. Hold on, I'll come back and say hello to all of you, I promise. For add-ons, so there's a couple products I'm going to be using tonight in addition to the bundle that aren't in the bundle. If you want to pick them up, you can. I'm going to be using an A2 card base. I'm going to be using mixed media tags. These are the number 8 manila tags. Some pink lemonade cardstock, and some copper shimmer chroma mist. So I just thought and my Raven ink pad in case you're interested. I wanted to make sure as I brought those in, that I mentioned that those aren't part of the bundle. They will be an add-on. Okay, let's get started with our chroma glaze and our brown butter cardstock. And let me just hop over and say hello to everybody. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Kate. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Candy. Shalana says, happy Monday. I'm loving that paper pack. Isn't that paper pack amazing? It's so, so good. We're going to play with it tonight in a couple different ways, and it is going to be so, so, so much fun. Okay, so I want to do the mixed media first because that will take the longest to dry. Of course, this is my live, and we have the magic of television, so I already have mine dry already, but you know. So I'm cutting this to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because we're going to need all of our A2 card base real estate for tonight. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I'm going to take this leftover scrap piece of paper and I'm just going to cut 1/2 inch strip. I'm going to fold this in half. We're going to come back to this later, but I'm going to fold this in half and crease it really well. Here we go. Because we are going to play with this. We need this little piece. Just set it aside. We're going to do a bit of an interactive card tonight. Hi, Teresa. So lovely to see you. So with this panel, we're going to add the chroma glaze through our stencil. I have my little, right up here, right out of the way where you can't see me, I have my little stencil cleaner. So we're going to go ahead and grab some tape. Let's find my tape. Uh-oh. Uh-oh is never what you want to hear on live, right? Right. My mint tape grew legs and walked away. That's okay. We're going to use this one instead. Doesn't matter. If I sound a little hoarse, it is because I have whatever terrible, horrible, viral gunk is going around this week. But I have my tea right here ready to go, so we should be just fine. Shalana says, oh, there's Heather. Wait a minute. Heather's here. She's never here Monday nights. Hi. Darling, it's lovely to see you. Shalana has a question for you. So I am just going to put a lovely, nice layer of this copper chroma glaze onto this brown butter cardstock. So this is one of those cool, I say this every time I use a chroma glaze. When you put it on to your project, when you put it through a stencil and it dries, it looks completely different. So it's not going to dry and look this color. Like right now it has this like dusty rose color to it, which by the way, I think is gorgeous, but this isn't how it dries, which is really cool. Okay, so we're just going to get a nice layer of that on, and then I'm going to drop my palette knife into my little stencil tray, and I'm going to drop my stencil into the little stencil tray. Then we can set this aside and it can dry. But let me show you the difference between wet and dry. I need Penny and her magic of TV. She's so good at it. Ta-da! Okay, so look at the difference. Here's wet, right? Here's dry. By the magic of TV. But how gorgeous is this? Like, this is gorgeous. I love, love, love this stuff. That copper is amazing. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and we're going to completely change up and next we're going to work with the tags. So I did this, I'm doing this card in the order that I would do it if I had all of this wet media that I had to wait to dry, right? So I would do my stenciling first, and that way that can dry, I can set it aside. And then I'm going to grab, the next thing you want to do is take your tags. And I took the Elaborate Edges die and card base. So I have two of these mixed media tags. These are the number 8 manila tags. I took 2 of them. I trimmed them down so that they would be just a smidge shorter than my card. I am not good with math, but I will measure these for you. So I trimmed the tags down to 5 1/4, which makes sense. 5 1/2, 5 1/4. Then one of the tags, I took the Elaborate Edges die, this one, and I lined it up. And I did this before I started because I didn't want to try to mess with my die cut machine live. So I just put it lined the die up right on the bottom of the tag, and I just cut out one of the two. So you'll have something that looks like this. And so you'll have one tag. They'll both be the same length, but then this one we're just adding that little pretty edge to. This die set is like amazing. And today my die set for January was just delivered, which I think really goes with this and like coordinates and is really kind of versatile too. Hold on, let me catch up with the comments. They're going fast and furious tonight. What is your most used chroma glaze color? My most used chroma glaze color would probably be either opal or the one I used the other night. I actually used it up, I think, and it was that purple, that violet color. But this one is good too. So I'm going to go ahead and take my two tags now. So die cut the bottom, put it like this. Now, when we go to make the card, the tags are going to be, we're going to put them, sandwich them together like this, right? So I want to decorate just the top of one side of the card. Oh, I think I'm okay. Thank you so much, Candy. I think I'm okay. Penny always just says, by the magic of TV, when I have something wet and then pull something dry out. Okay, so I am giving this a good spin. This is the Ornamental Gold Chroma Mist that's part of the bundle. Just incorporating it all together really well. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray the tags. And these tags are made for mixed media. So they're really thick, they're really heavy. You can add a lot of water to them, you can add a lot of mediums to them, and they will hold up to that. So the other thing I'm going to grab is the Copper Shimmer Chroma Mist. This one is the one that would be an add-on. This is not part of the bundle, but I'm going to use it just to splatter. So you're not using a lot of it, and you really wouldn't need to use it. If you just had the bundle, you could just spray the tags with the Ornamental Gold, and you would be just fine. This is just going to add a little bit to of interest to the tags. And I'm just going to splatter them a little bit and let them do their thing. So now I'm going to set these aside to dry. And again, if I was making this without any kind of prep, this would be the next thing I would do so that it would dry. So we're going to set these aside. But we did prep work, which means, guess what I have? By the magic of TV. Two that are already done. Okay. Yes, I appreciate any help keeping track. Thank you, Teresa. Glenda says, yeah, it really does change once it's dry. That's true. Okay, so here is our dried and splattered tags all ready to go. Okay. So remember that little piece, that little 1/4 inch piece of the brown cardstock that I had folded in half and creased a little bit? I'm going to take that. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of one of the tags. I am using both wet and dry adhesive for extra stickiness because I don't want any of this to move at all. So where that crease is, I'm going to place it just here on the left side of the tag. And I'm leaving a little bit of room, but not a ton of room, just a little bit. Just enough so that it will close. Then I'm going to take my second tag. This is the one that has the decorative edge. I'm going to line it up with the plain one. I'm going to push this down. Then we're going to take our card and we're going to adhere this other piece inside the card so that what we are making tonight is an interactive card where it's going to fold in. The 2 tags are going to fold in and then it's going to close. Isn't that awesome? I want to decorate this a little bit before we start putting it together, but that's where we're going with this. There we go. Heather, by the magic of TV. Yep, by the magic of TV. So now the rest of putting our card together for tonight is just the fun stuff. So not only are we going to work on the front of our card for this evening, but we're going to work on the inside too. So we're going to decorate the front, we're going to decorate the inside, and then we're going to decorate both of our little tip-in tags. So this would be a very kind of special card that you would want to give to a friend. So let's start with the front of the card. I also went ahead and fussy cut. So what I did with this paper pad is I took Brutus from Rose paper pads. You get 4 of each design. So I took 3 designs that I absolutely loved and ones for the colors kind of coordinated, right? So I chose the ones that were kind of pink and brown, and I love this pop of navy, and I really loved this pop of really bright pink. And I took elements from those papers and I fussy cut them into pieces. So we can then take these pieces and we can use our stamp and we can collage and create with all these little fussy cut pieces. So that is going to be our plan for tonight. And if you guys have opinions as I do this, you are more than welcome to speak up. So the first thing I want to do is, and this was also why I cut this at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because we're going to layer things on top of it. So the first piece we're going to layer up is the pink lemonade cardstock. This is the one that would be an add-on. And this is cut to, I believe, yep, 4 by 5 1/4. Hi, Stacy. And I'm just going to line this up so that we have a nice edge. And you can still see all that copper chroma glaze because it just gives this beautiful, gorgeous, like metallic sheen all around the edge. So the next piece for the front of the card is I have this floral. This is what the paper looks like. Hold on a second. Let me organize my paper a little bit here. Get my paper organized. Here we go. So this was one of the patterns I chose. So there's 4 sheets in a pack. So I have 2 full-size sheets. Then I have this one that I cut down. And then I have this one that I fussy cut. So this is the one that I cut down, and I did stamp the hello friend here. It is not super visible. It kind of just blends in with all of this. And I am so okay with that because we're going to stamp more sentiments on the inside of the card. But we are going for something that has that vintage vibe kind of feel, right? We want something that looks a little bit old. You could even distress the edges of this. So I'm going to go ahead and place this one down. Now this is 3 3/4 by 5. So then we have one more layer. Now this is the one that I fussy cut. And what I want to do is, so here's how it looks right up on top of that pattern paper, like right up on top of it, right along the edge, right lined up. What I'm going to do is I already have foam tape on the back, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to pop it down just a little bit so that it's offsetting the pattern, not directly on top of it. And I have used the Easy Strips adhesive on the back of this fussy cut piece. Kelly says that's beautiful paper. Yes, Kelly, this is beautiful, beautiful paper. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard not to be like sniffly. So I'm gonna line it up and then I'm gonna do, have you ever heard of a drop shadow? So I'm gonna put this piece just slightly down, slightly over, so it's not quite lining up. It's almost gonna line up with that pink patterned paper. It's gonna create another layer. And then you can go ahead and kind of trim this off. And then we're going to come back to this piece because I want to put some crystals into some sections of it right at the end. So the next piece we're going to do is our little tag. Let's do the top tag. I want to add this bright flower because I want to add a little bit of that rouge colored cardstock that's in our bundle for tonight. I also think I'm going to go ahead and collage in and add in this little piece. I'm thinking a little butterfly up here would be so cute. Just like that, but with the rouge paper across. Oh, thank you so much, Kelly. Kelly says sniffle as needed. Thank you. Thank you. I have tea. It's helping. Kate says, I believe the price is incorrect on my device since the 6x6 pad is almost $700. Yes, this is a beautiful paper pad, but that is not the correct price. So here is that rouge, and see how it matches that bright, bright, bright pink that's in that floral piece. Kate, maybe if you add it to the cart, see if the price stays that high. I'm not sure. Oh, yay, Heather's still here. There you go. I was like, I don't know how to fix that. All right, so I'm not sure how thick. Now, just keep in mind, when we put this all together, none of this brown is going to show. So we don't even have to like worry about that. So I don't think I want a huge. I like this, almost like a stripe or like a pinstripe. Yeah. So we can use that as like a pinstripe behind. Look how that little bit, just that little bit of color behind that flower is going to be perfect. It's just going to make it pop. And then we'll take a tiny, tiny little piece, like just a tiny little bit, and we can pop that tiny little bit up here. Just like that. And this little butterfly, he can stick out here because he's going to get folded right into the card. So nothing's going to happen to him. He'll be just fine. So that's what we're going to do with this one. So when you cut this elaborate edges die, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it will emboss like a line across the top before the edge. We are taking full advantage of that line because I'm not the straightest. I'm not good at the straight lines. So I'm going to use that little embossed edge and line it up right there. And then I'm going to take this next little piece and I'm leaving that open area. And then our tiny little piece. And we'll pop that right across the top. So it's almost like we're making our own kind of striped pattern paper in a sense. Trim that up. This is my favorite part of creating. I love to fussy cut things. So much fun. And then I love to like tuck them all back in and make them the way I want them to be. Yes, Kate, you do need the paper pad. So I'm super happy that you got it. Okay, so I am using wet glue because all of this is mixed media. We put all those splatters down and everything, and I want to be very sure that everything adheres and stays adhered really well. Then we can take this little bit and we can add it in up here. And we can add this piece here. Perfect. And we'll trim this off. And then we can do the back. So it's going to come in like this. So I want to add a little bit more of a title or a sentiment to the inside of the card. let me grab this stamp set and my Misty. And I think, so I think this Missing You stamp set would be really cute. And then I also think that we could take the two of these wreaths and we could put them so that they're kind of coming in. And then once we have that stamping done, we can come back with some more of these little fussy cut flowers and create some more layers, because we still have got some butterflies. I've got some floral clusters. I've got more paper there if I want to fussy cut more flowers. There says Kate, I need 3. Well, I ordered 1, so I have just 1. And right now I'm kind of thinking I need, because, I got 1 before I had played with it. And now that I've played with it, I'm like, maybe I should have gotten 2. Okay, so I'm going to start with the little Missing You sentiment. And I'm just going to pop that in with the ink pad. Thank you, Heather. So Heather just popped in. There's a whole Secret Garden collection page. And I did link it up in the description box, but Heather just put it in the chat in case you need it. And that has all of the individual pieces from the collection if you want to mix and match. Kate's getting 3 paper pads. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this 3 times just because I want to make sure, since I'm stamping on top of the splatter and on top of the chroma mist and all those good things, I want to make sure that I have nice stamping. So I'm going to pop this up here so I don't forget to clean it later. And then I'm going to move this tag kind of to the middle of my Misty. Now this part does not have to be perfect. I already know that I'm going to kind of cover up most of this. This is just giving me some background interest to this tag. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to stamp perfect. It can be, we're doing all the vintage stuff today. So it can be a little bit imperfect. It can be a little bit off. It does not have to be perfect at all. I just want to add a little something more black to this tag than just my sentiment. I'm going to come over here and do just this section, if it'll work. Move it over. There we go. Give that a good amount of ink. Press it down really well. Perfect. Now we'll just set that aside and we'll move on. Okay. So we have this beautiful blue butterfly. And then we have these 2 fussy cut florals. And this is what I was thinking. I'm thinking that I want to just trim this one down a little bit. Just a wee little, there we go. And then it can kind of fit into this corner, but you'll still see our stamping. And then the butterfly will fit really well right there, just like that. And I don't think we need another floral. So I didn't use this one, but I have to show it to you. Look how gorgeous that is. I love that one too. They're so good. Okay, so I think we're going to go with this. I think we're going to go with this little blue butterfly and this little cluster, and then we have our stamping here too. Heather made me. You won't be disappointed, I promise. They're so good. Okay, so I'm going to put this fussy cut bit down here. Give that a good press down so it is everywhere we want it to be. Strip that off. And then we'll take our little butterfly. And we'll snuggle him in right here and press that down. Okay. Now we're going to take this. I'm going to close this. I'm going to put this so that it is right here, right against. So my folded is where I folded the cardstock, the brown butter cardstock at the beginning is now, that fold is right up against my card. So we have a little hinge now. And it can open and close. But this does not look good, so we need to cover it up with something. We still have one more fussy cut paper right here. And we still have, so we have our front. And then the card will open and we'll have this here, which will sit and can be opened or closed. We just have to pick a paper. How about this one? And we'll set that in there, and maybe we can back it with the rouge and then have this little fussy cut piece be on top of that. I think that sounds fabulous. Don't you think that this sounds fabulous? That sounds fabulous. All right. There's Penny. Hi, Penny. You missed it. You missed all the magic of the TV. It's okay. Heather got you. When I pulled out the finished dried panels, Heather said, by the magic of TV. How are you this evening, Penny? Okay, so this is the inside of the card. I'm going to cut this to 4. By 5 1/4. And then I can go ahead and place this fussy cut piece here down in this quarter. Now I don't want to pop it up, so we popped up this one, but this is going to be on the inside of the card, and we already have the tags on the inside of the card. So I don't want to pop this up, but just that little extra bit of dimension will be just fine. I am going to trim it just a little bit because my thought process is that I want to leave this part of this pattern paper pretty open. This is going to give you a space to write your handwritten thoughts, note, message, sign your name, those kinds of things. So I want to make sure there's enough open space there that you can do that. And the stamp set comes with a number of different sentiments, so you wouldn't need to use the hello friend and the missing you. It also has a couple other sentiments on it that you could mix, match, and pick whichever one kind of fits the occasion you're crafting for. But that is just going to give it a little bit of interest to the inside as well as the outside of the card. And we always, usually when I do the lives, we always look at the outside, and we kind of make the outside um, the best part, which is awesome and amazing. But sometimes it's really fun to kind of go ahead and just have fun with the inside of your card, not just the outside, which is what we are doing tonight. Oh, Penny says she's snowed in and trying to stay warm. Yeah, Penny, I'm snowed in too. So there's what the inside of the card will look like. And I do think that I want that little extra pop of pink. So let me grab. Oh, destroyed my desk already. I can make a mess faster than anybody I know. All right, here we go. We'll do one more little layer behind this. Wow, Penny. 11 inches. Wow. We got so we already had 5 or 6 inches on the ground here, and we got another maybe 4 or 5 today. So I am going to cut this just at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then that'll give us that nice bright pink border. And since we chose the bright pink for that tag, it'll make it all come together and be cohesive. We won't be wondering about that. So let me just pop this in here. And then the last little piece will be the front of the card. Line this up. And there we go. This card ends up looking like a book almost. So we have our sentiment, then we open the card up. We have our tags with a little sub sentiment, and then we have a tip out, and then you can write your message right there. So really cute, really kind of unique and different card for this evening. Now, part of our bundle for tonight, we have awesome crystals. So let's get that started. So while I choose crystal placement, sometimes this can take a minute. Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything we did, any measurements I forgot to give you? Anything at all? I feel like we kind of lost our There we go. That's better. I think I must have hit the thing, the camera. So there is a close up. Love how this turned out. So it is a pretty kind of a little bit of a more substantial card. You probably would have to add some more postage to it for sure. So if you have any questions, any measurements you need, anything at all, go ahead and drop them in the comments while I figure out where I'm going to put the bling. These beautiful light pink crystals are part of the release tonight too, part of the bundle. These are the light pink color. And I think that I'm going to add little accents just to the little flowers. And that will actually take up quite a few crystals, but that's okay. You can't have too many crystals. Am I right? Oh, hold on. Get my glue back on. Let me get my stabby tool. The amazingly fabulous stabby tool. And let me get a cup of tea because I feel a cough coming on, and that's the last thing I want while I'm out doing a live. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these little crystals. I'm adding them in little clusters of 3 that sort of make a little triangle. That's just how I always put them on. I'm just adding little accents to my flowers. And then this will be the last little piece to our card for tonight. So something a little bit different and fun, a little bit special, not for us, somebody special who this card is definitely for someone who understands that you spend a lot of time on your card and that they want to keep it. Okay. So that is it for tonight. I'm with you, Sandy. Sandy says when it comes to bling, the limit does not exist. It's true. It's true. The limit does not exist. Kate says sparkles make my heart sing. Yeah, they make my heart happy too. Sparkles are my favorite. Kelly said offsetting the front is perfect. Yeah, I really, really like that because you can still see just that little bit of that like drop of the same set of flowers, but then you have it popped up and you have the dimension and it makes it look special. And you can still see the stenciling around the edges, the light catches that copper and makes it sparkle too. So Heather says 3 just makes everyone happy. Look, I group my bling in sets of 3. So, okay, everybody, our card project is done. I will take lots of photos and put them up in the Brutus Monroe fan Facebook group tomorrow morning when I have some good light. So you can see all the close-ups. And then if you haven't yet, if you don't grab anything else, you need this paper pad for sure. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Yeah. Heather says the stencil that way looks like a die. It does. It looks awesome. This turned Sometimes I design things in my head and I think, is that really going to work? Let me try it and see if it's really going to work. And I was so happy because this design in my head worked really well. You guys all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will see you again next Monday. Bye.